Here's what's happening now. Rainfall picking up in intensity. Coming up, we'll look at some areas that could be seeing flooding problems later tonight. Paula?
New isn't necessarily better, particularly when you're talking about intersections. We're talking about some of the area's most dangerous intersections, and this brand new one is shooting straight up toward the top of the list.
All right, Paula. Also first at 4, an angry mother faces the 2 men convicted in the death of her 2-year-old daughter. We've got her message to them coming up.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Devin Skillian in today for Karen Drew. Looking outside, well, I actually don't recommend you look outside. It's been a gray, rainy day, and the rain keeps coming. In fact, Dearborn police have now declared a flood watch through tomorrow afternoon. Let's start things off here at 4 with Ben Bailey. Ben, if today was a fish, we'd throw it back.
Yeah, this is not what we had in mind, but we've still got a lot more to go. We have picked up over an inch of rain in parts of Metro Detroit, and we've still got some of the heaviest stuff yet to go. In fact, the southern end of the area really getting hit with some of the heavier rain right now across parts of Lenawee and Monroe County. You can see that we have picked up some lightning strikes within the last hour, but a lot of those right now are a little bit further to the east out towards Cedar Point and the southern end of Lake Erie. Nevertheless, flood watch is in effect for just about the southern 2/3 of Metro Detroit. And this is until noon Friday. Rainfall will be a little bit heavier here in our southern area. But when you look at our model forecast, everything shaded in blue will be over an inch of rain. And some areas here in purple could be seeing 2+. We'll be looking at that and when the rain will finally shut off coming up in a few minutes. Devin?
Ben. Also first at 4, 2 brothers sentenced in court today for the deadly shooting of a child. 2-year-old Mackenzie Oldham was shot last May while she was sitting in her family's car. She died several days later at the hospital. Prosecutors say the shots were fired after a fight erupted over juice that was poured on a prom dress. This afternoon, 2 of the men involved faced Mackenzie's mother, who says she wishes they had more time coming.
I wish he had a light. He get to see his daughter. We can't see our baby at all. We have to go to the cemetery every day to visit our child. It hurts so bad.
In the end, both men pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and felony firearms charges. 33-year-old Antoine Smelly will now spend at least the next 10 years in prison. The man accused of being the shooter, Cleveland Smelly, was sentenced to at least 35 years. Troy police have arrested a man on child porn charges, and they are looking for witnesses who can not only help build their case, but perhaps reveal more victims to them. 37-year-old Brandon Donlin of Troy is facing a number of charges for possession of child porn and using a computer to commit a crime. Police say they searched his home last year and spent a lot of time investigating his digital media. He is being held right now on a $3 million bond. Opening day is just about a week away, and this afternoon we got an up-close look at the new additions to the menu at Comerica Park this coming season. Let's have a look. How about this? This one's going to take an iron-cast stomach. This one is called the Little Caesars Coney Dog Deep Dish Pizza. It includes a cut-up hot dog, onions. Yes, that's mustard you see right on the top, and instead of tomato sauce, it's chili. Underneath the cheese there, and underneath the spread that you just saw there, that's chicken shawarma nachos. We've got a Cuban sandwich that you just saw. Also a Hawaiian hot dog, which has bacon, pineapple, pickled onions, jalapenos, and ketchup on it. Tigers' home opener is next Friday against the Red Sox. First pitch at 1:10. Some, of course, would say never ketchup on a hot dog, only mustard. In our nation's capital, the investigation into Russian election hacking and possible ties to President Trump's inner circle now moves to the Senate. Kimberly Gill been following this story for us. She's in the newsroom. Kim, it's just the beginning.
Yeah, Devin, to say the least. Today, Senate Intelligence Committee members said they will focus on tactics and technology used by Russian hackers, and the investigation will go wherever the evidence may lead them. Lawmakers on the committee have requested interviews with at least 20 people, including President Trump's advisor and son-in-law Jared Kushner and former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. During their first public hearing on Russia, Senator Marco Rubio made clear the threat from Russia is real and it's growing.
This is a coordinated effort across multiple spectrums to sow instability and to pit Americans against one another.
We're talking about an overall investigation by Congress, but we're also talking about whether there's going to be any prosecution for criminal activity.
Now, as for the House Intelligence investigation, embattled Chair Devin Nunes and Vice Chair Adam Schiff are scheduled to meet face-to-face for the first time in days. As it stands right now, there are no future meetings scheduled for their committee. So, Devin, right now still a lot of questions, very few answers coming out of Washington, but we will, of course, stay on top of it and bring you the latest.
Still seems to change by the hour.
That it does.
You keep it here. More coming up from Kim at 5 o'clock. Meanwhile, first at 4, we're on top of stories making headlines across America. Let's start this roundup in North Carolina, where lawmakers are trying to convince the NCAA and other businesses that they are repealing their so-called bathroom bill. Lawmakers have passed a new bill, but the ACLU and gay rights groups say it doesn't actually go far enough. The new bill leaves the state in charge of multi-stall bathrooms. It puts a temporary freeze on local governments trying to pass any non-discrimination ordinances until 2020. The Democratic governor is expected to sign the bill. Not clear yet if the NCAA will agree that the new law goes far enough. Of course, remember, North Carolina lost a number of events because of that law. Imagine being stuck alone in this small car for 4 long nights. That's what happened to a Colorado woman. Police say 85-year-old Ruby Stein was trying to get on Interstate 70 west of Denver. She got lost on a remote dirt road, ended up being stuck with her cat in her car. Ruby rationed the few snacks that she had, used melted snow to stay hydrated, and finally some hikers came to her rescue. Ruby's family is trying to get her to give up her car keys, but she says she's still not sure she will. Metro Detroit traffic, something we'll love to hate, especially on a wet, rainy day like today. But when it comes to accidents, some intersections are, of course, much more problematic. New raw data from Michigan State Police highlights Metro Detroit's most dangerous intersections. 12 Mile and DeQuinder is tied at the top of the list with Ford and Lilly Roads. 85 crashes at each intersection. 84 crashes have been recorded at Orchard Lake and 12 Mile. And 81 of them at the intersection of Ford and Hagerty. Today, our Paula Tutman takes us to a new intersection that is quickly climbing that list for the wrong reason and creating a lot of confusion for drivers. Paula?
So I got a copy of the raw data, the preliminary numbers for 2016 from Michigan State Police. And when you talk about the most dangerous intersections, you have the usual suspects. But I think the thing that really sticks out about these particular numbers is how one brand new intersection in particular is shooting straight up toward the top of the list. The roundabout at 14 Mile and Orchard Lake Road is so new, it still kind of has that new car smell, except the people who actually travel this corridor think it stinks.
The circle of death.
This one's even worse because it's just confusing.
As one of the newest roundabouts in the Tri-County area, the 14 Mile Orchard Lake roundabout is shooting toward the top of the most dangerous intersection list. Preliminary data from 2016 from the Michigan State Police shows that from January to December, 75 accidents occurred right here. 9 of them with injuries, making it the 6th most dangerous intersection in the Tri-County area, the 4th most dangerous in Oakland County.
That does not surprise me.
Lots of people are still confused over how to use roundabouts in general, but this one is a roundabout with tentacles. Coming up Northwestern, if you're trying to get to, say, Old Navy by going south on Orchard Lake, do you turn just before the actual roundabout, or after, or what?
You know how you're coming in. Sometimes, like, I'll come in from Northwestern Highway to get to Orchard Lake to this spot, and I'm not sure which way to take. I mean, it's like, do I go left? Do I go right? So I end up usually having to take the Michigan left to actually get back to the roundabout to actually get over here.
The popular shopping district north on Orchard Lake creates just as much drama. Where do you turn? Which lane do you use? If you're in the wrong lane, how do you make a correction without it being an overcorrection?
I think it's very dangerous. I've seen an accident happen one day up there, and I think it's dangerous.
This is a pretty meteoric rise for an intersection, and you could play a blame game. It's new. People have to figure out these new traffic patterns. There are any number of reasons why this particular intersection is beating out some of the usual suspects. But if you don't slow down, practice the art of cooperation and forgiveness, as opposed to horn blowing, while people are trying to figure it out, this intersection only gets more dangerous this year. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Round and round she goes. Too often, we, of course, associate social media with negativity and criticism. Still ahead, a story where a Facebook post actually saved the day. Also, Target wants thousands of parents to take this toy away from their children because of two serious hazards. We'll have that in just a minute. Doc?
Well, Devin, in good health, new research about women, your smile, and what it might say about living a longer life. And if you want to boost your brain, you might want to hit the dance floor. I'll explain next.
Coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
A double pane window smashed, and if you look closely, blood splatters all around.
I don't know. It's a mystery to me. You know, I wish I was there when that happened, to be honest.
And you won't believe what crashed through this family's window.
All right, Jason, not a good health. Well, what does your smile say about your odds of living a long life? Maybe quite a bit. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here. It's one of the stories you got today.
That's exactly it, Devin. You know, a number of studies have actually linked our oral health with our overall health. This latest study found women over 55 with a history of gum disease, well, they were 12% more likely to die from any cause, regardless of how often they went to the dentist. In fact, older women who lost all of their natural teeth had a 17% higher risk of death. Now, gum disease has been linked with other health risks. Plus, our dental health, of course, does often reflect our overall health.
Well, it's hard to tell what the connection is because maybe if you just don't take care of your teeth, maybe you're sort of lax in your overall approach to your own
No
health,
one knows for sure whether it's a cause and effect or just a correlation.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, another story that caught your eye has to do with dancing and the benefits for our brain.
That's right.
Not our cardio health, but our brain.
No, exactly. Well, you know, a lot of people have taken up doing crossword puzzles and all kinds of other puzzles in an attempt to try and improve their mental health. Well, it seems now taking some dance lessons could help. Researchers compared dancing, walking, and stretching, and they found learning a social dance had the biggest impact on the brain. After 6 months of lessons, dancers had denser white matter in the parts of the brain involved with processing speed and memory. Now, experts say dance engages your body and mind with the added benefits of socializing with others. And in this particular study, we're learning country dancing, but of course, whatever style of dancing that you enjoy probably would have the same effect.
Of course, yeah, but I like it. Yeah.
You might be preferential to country.
I might be. You know what happens if you play a country song backwards, though? You get your wife back, you get your job back, you get your truck back. Yeah.
Very nice. Well,
thanks, Doc.
Another benefit.
There you go. We also have a Help Me Hank recall alert to tell you about today that's going to affect thousands of families. Target is recalling about 19,000 tic-tac-toe games. These are magnetic games sold only at Target. They were sold from December of last year through February of this year. The magnets can come off the game's pieces, the magnet in the back, and that can pose, of course, a choking hazard. Also, it's very dangerous if children actually swallow more than one magnet. You know what happens when you put two magnets together, so that can end up causing internal damage. So immediately stop using the games is the advice, and contact Target for a refund. Now, Ben's turn on a really nasty, soggy day.
Yeah, it's been a washout so far, and it looks like some of the heaviest stuff may still be on the horizon.
Oh, joy.
I know.
Let's have more.
Unfortunately, right during the evening commute, so watch out, especially on the drive home. Some of those highway underpasses in our metro area that are very susceptible to flooding when we see intensity of this kind. We'll be watching out for that very carefully here in the next several hours. And after getting a little bit of a break here, it looks like that rain is starting to pick up in intensity, especially in our south zone. I wanted to show you the estimated totals so far. At least the radar is estimating some of the highest totals have fallen north of 69. But even down here in our metro area, we're looking at about an inch plus right around downtown southwest part of Detroit. Just looked at City Airport and Metro Airport, both of those very close to an inch. In fact, just a little bit more out there in Romulus. So we're going to be adding to those totals, especially through this evening. And then things are going to taper off just a little bit as we get into the overnight hours. But this is just one of several pushes of rain that we still have yet to go. The back edge of this system is the low that's swirling around in Missouri right now. So until that low actually crosses through, we're still going to keep those rain chances in the forecast, which is probably going to last through tomorrow evening. So let's take it hour by hour here, and we'll continue to watch for some moderate and even heavy rain at times. By 8 o'clock tonight, I think this is the most likely chance of seeing thunderstorms thunderstorms. Even though the severe weather should stay south of us, still could see some gusty winds and possibly a little bit of small hail, especially in our south zone this evening. Otherwise, as we get past midnight, things lighten up considerably. Again, we're keeping rain chances around, but you can see the model showing very light amounts as we get through Friday. This is all contingent on where that low actually tracks. This solution to the model has that low staying south and east of us. If that changes track, that's going to change our rainfall amounts, so we're going to keep a very close eye on that as we get into tomorrow. Tonight, though, 42 is what we're going to call our overnight low. Generally, we're going to see these numbers relatively steady and not moving a whole lot, at least during the nighttime hours. Tomorrow, a warm front gets up about halfway through the area, and that's why we've got a very wide range in temperatures. Downriver, you're going to see in the upper 50s. North side of our metro zone, only the upper 40s out towards West Bloomfield and Troy. South zone, couple spots are going to show up in the 60s, at least for about an hour or so. West zone, that front only getting about halfway through there. So Ann Arbor up to 51, 44 in Milford, and 40s in the north side of the zone, and nowhere close to our north zone. In fact, there'll be some spots that stay in the 30s for high temperatures tomorrow up in Sanilac County. We still have a pretty nice weekend on tap with Saturday and Sunday, but a very active pattern next week. And a reminder that flood watch still in effect until noon tomorrow, Devin.
Still ahead, first at 4, the new golden rule at the Oscars to prevent another embarrassing mix-up. No, Moonlight, really, you guys won. Up first, the life of an American hero is honored, how Facebook helped make it happen. Trending stories next. And don't forget, you'll want to watch Live in the D after hours coming up tonight, 8 o'clock. Check out some of the city's best food, music, and fun. Chuck, Toddy, Jason, and the gang right here on Local 4 tonight, 8 o'clock. We'll be right back. Here, an example of how social media really can be a force for good. A Korean War veteran recently died in Colorado. Really didn't have much family or really many friends. But Elmer McLean did have a caregiver who really cares. And she put a post on Facebook about his funeral. She could not believe how many people were sharing and liking her post. And the day of the funeral, dozens of other veterans and just average other people showing up because they were so touched by the story.
You read so much negativity in the world, and just to see what happened today with people that didn't know the man coming out and honoring him, it makes me feel good.
Yeah, everyone at the funeral united in their mission to pay their respects to an American hero. Really great. Well, you may have heard the Academy Awards are keeping their accountants. PricewaterhouseCoopers keeping their jobs after this year's picture debacle, but the accountants do have to now check their phones at the door. There will be no cell phones allowed backstage. I'm not sure if they're going to call this the La La Land rule, the Moonlight rule, the Warren Beatty rule, but it is believed one accountant was distracted while tweeting and handed Warren Beatty the wrong envelope. By the way, the specific accountants involved in the problems this year are not being invited back.
Pricewaterhouse Gate is a little too long.
That's not bad, though. Yeah. I think it ought to be called the dude rule, as in, dude, what are you doing? Here's something, Ben, I know you're going to like this one. You probably haven't seen this. A really thirsty snake. Ongoing drought in southwestern India. This cobra came out of hiding to find some water, and a villager actually offered the snake a bottle of water. There it is. Look at this.
Wow.
The snake is drinking right from the bottle. This is right out of Rudyard Kipling, I believe. Kaa and Mowgli and the whole Jungle Book gang.
He is inches from losing a hand.
Exactly.
Wow.
But the snake seems to almost, I hate to, personalize it, but almost seems to know that somebody's trying to help him.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Wild. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, still ahead. The old Hollywood adage, never work with children or animals. That's what W.C. Fields said. Well, we'll see what happened behind the scenes when Paula Tutman broke the rule. Next.
He's not even 2 years old, and he is captivating our hearts. Elliot Carter, the boy with an infectious smile on the outside and disease on the inside that no one can cure. I'm Nick Monticelli, and that is the lingering question. Will he be with us, and for how long?
I just want a glimpse in the future. I just want to see a year from now. I want to see 5 years from now. I want to know that he's going to be with us.
Tonight on Local 4 News at 11, Elliot Carter and his parents' courageous and emotional battle to find a cure anywhere they can.
When it comes.
Finally, first at 4, you may have seen our story yesterday on using goats to fight invasive plants.
What you didn't see were the goats surrounding Paula before her live shot. Check this out.
We need, what happened here? Okay. Oh, whoa! Let's get that on live television. Are you guys watching this? Holy! He might bleed a little bit because the skirt just got broken. Oh my God! Don't eat my pants!
That may make a promo. You can see more of these goats rumbling in front of Paula on her Facebook page at Local 4 Paula Chapman.
Goats, the Jason Colthorpe of the animal world. We'll be back here on Local 4 News at 5, Inside Edition, coming up next.